So, 50 subscribers. Well, more than that. Reading at this at currently 11:04 p.m. Pacific time. And today I'll have to read a Harry Potter fanfiction voted by my friends on Discord. Now, if you don't want to ruin your childhood at all, please don't watch this then. But if you dare to, then please go ahead. But if you hate Harry Potter, well, I don't know what to say for you. And this story is called, well, not really a story, really. It's just a fan fiction made by someone. So again, I've taken like 3 takes at these. The last one was kind of successful, but the audio got corrupted, so I had to do the same again. So, without further ado, we have to read this one called Harry Potter and Hermione Granger's Sexual Secrets. This thing has 16 chapters, I assume. That's what they call them. And I have to read them now. So, starting. Harry Potter and Hermione Granger's Sexual Secrets by Mila. Chapter 1, Under the Invisibility Cloak. Jesus. It was 2 a.m. on a freezing night in December, and the boys' dormitory room in Gryffindor Tower was alive with snoring and heavy breathing. The tower's window was being buffeted with heavy, thick white snow. A relentless push from the wind made it seem to Harry as though the wind would smash with strength the balls of snow that were being thrown with the unforgiving icy gust. Harry didn't sleep. He pretended to do so so that Ron and his other fellow dormitory students would, and so that he could leave the dormitory undetected. It was all part of the plan. Harry made one last check as he crept around his room as silently as possible. He heard Ron snoring, so he didn't need to check through his 4 poster curtains. Neville was away on Christmas break with this at his nan's, and he just checked Seamus, who was sleeping like a baby. The last was Dean. Harry tiptoed across the dormitory, his hearing paranoid as he listened for every creak and groan the wooden landing made as he approached Dean's 4-poster bed with one hand outstretched for the curtain. Harry reached Dean's bed and slowly pulled the curtain aside to make enough space for one of his green eyes to peer in. Dean was sleeping. That meant Harry could meet Hermione, and Harry and Hermione could meet. Shit. Sorry for that. That meant that Harry could meet Hermione outside the Gryffindor common room. His blood began to fill with exhilaration and belief as he let the curtain conceal Dean again. He was finally going to do what he and Hermione were not finding the time to do for weeks, despite Hermione's brilliant intellect. This took great stealth, not just preparation. Harry went back to his bed as quiet as a mouse. He took his invisibility cloak from under his pillow and left the dormitory room with it pocketed in his robes. Shutting the bulky dormitory room as quietly as possible, Harry trotted down the spiral stone steps of the common room. The fire flickered a comforting orange light across the carpet and took up the walls onto the ceiling. Facing the fire on a red armchair was Hermione Granger. She had a book on her lap that only Harry had saw her with. She would not have dared to take it out of her school trunk to read while everyone else was awake. It was a pink book with a love heart shaped file engraved on the front. She had found it in the forbidden section of the library about this is interesting. A fortnight ago, when she and Harry had let their teenage desires get the better of them. She was so indulged in the book, she had not noticed Harry sit on the arm of her armchair she sat in. Breast growth excellent, Harry said in a low voice, reading the title of the page she was so involved in. Hermione jumped back slightly in the armchair and snapped the pink book shut. "Don't sneak like that," she gasped, looking up at Harry. Her face was growing rather pink. Harry could see it, despite the flames of fire dashing over her smooth face. Hermione, oh, shoot! Sorry, Harry grinned, letting one hand carefully stroke the back of Hermione's bushy brown hair. But don't need to waste your time with that potion. Hermione went a shade pinker, then smiled. Thank you. Harry's hand fell from her hair down to her lower back. He knew she liked being caressed down there. Hermione continued to stare into his eyes with hunger. Then she rose to her feet and pressed her warm, delicate lips onto his. Just as the tips of their wet tongues slid across each other, her pink book fell from her lap and thudded hard onto the carpet, making quite a loud thud silence. They separated instantly and looked at the spiral staircase, realizing it was a book that made the noise, not an intruder. Hermione bent over and picked it up, her silky legs flickering in the firelight under her black school skirt. She got back up, put the book on the armchair. Nobody would be awake to find it for another 5 hours at least. Not here, she whispered to Harry as she eyed the girl's dormitory room again. I know, Harry whispered back, the brief taste of her mouth still alive on his tongue. Don't worry, Harry continued as he took out his invisibility cloak. You said you thought of somewhere we could go. You forgot I had this cloak. He shook it for her to probably see in the light. So we can just use that when we get there. Oh, great! I totally forgot about that thing. She smiled and began to breathe more rapidly in excitement. Well then, let's go. She took the invisibility cloak from Harry eagerly and threw it over herself and him. Harry sat on her left. They left the common room together. The fat lady was sleeping in her portrait and swung open anyway. Harry's hand fell to Hermione's waist as he pulled her closer to his side. He wanted to feel her juicy thighs brush against his as then he went to wherever she had in her mind. In slow walk. It was a slow walk. There was no rush. It was 2 a.m. and as hungry as they were for each other, they wanted to savor every moment they had failed to grasp in weeks because Ron would be awake late at night, not showing any signs of sleep, or Hermione would have homework she could not forget about for once. That was actually the main reason. This might be quick though. The first couple of times, Harry said, Hermione hearing that they were both virgins. He looked at her, waiting for the response she had often given to this statement over the last several days. Parentheses, by the way. I know, Harry. Don't worry, I have an idea. Parentheses. But what was that idea? She never told him. Her exceptional intellect and secrecy was luring Harry deeper into her. They went up a flight of stone stairs. The idea I've been talking to you about? She fumbled through a pocket and took out two very tiny cork bottles. One was sloshing with a light light blue fluid, another one, the other with a wicked green. It's basically Viagra for you. And I prevent stagnation, any bleeding,